There we go.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I want to thank Ally, the Alliance for Independent Authors, for organizing these Indie Author Fringe programs. I think that everyone, my name is Beth Werner. I own a company called Author Connections, and I help authors with editing and marketing. And so for me to see these programs that Ally has organized is very encouraging and helpful, because as authors are transitioning and becoming publishers more and more often, the business of publishing and working in this marketplace is challenging. There are a lot of different things that have to be kept on top of, and the information and the encouragement and support that Ally is offering has been really helpful and a positive thing in the industry. So today we're going to be talking about something that I think is an excellent tool for authors and publishers to use. It's called Book2Look, and this is a marketing solution that is a digital book discovery tool that authors and publishers can use to get the titles out there. I think the latest statistic that I have seen is this year we may see more than 2 million new titles in circulation, a combination of print and ebooks. And so book discovery has never been a bigger challenge. How do you set your book apart? How do you make sure that readers are aware of it? And Book2Look is something that's an exciting, innovative, DIY, simple tool to use so that you can do it on your own and use all these features to attract readers to buy your book. So joining us today, we have Karen Inglis, who is a children's book author, and she has used Book2Look and has a case study to share with us that I think will be very useful for everyone who's listening.
Hi. Thank you for having me along. And were you going to introduce Ralph next?
Of course. Also with us, chiming in and complimenting Karen's presentation is Ralph Möller, who is the owner of Book2Look, the creator of this solution. And there are so many incredible features. I should mention that one of the key things about Book2Look that I think is very useful to authors, and Karen can speak to this in more specific terms, but what happens in marketing is that the author has a book and then creates a number of collateral items to support the book. Maybe, presentation materials, maybe a website, maybe social media pages, ways of sharing the book and presenting it, getting the book cover image out there, and all of these pieces have to be shared. And what Book2Look does is it pulls all of those pieces together into one encapsulated presentation. So Ralph will be able to speak to some of those features, and Karen can tell you how she's actually implemented the tool so that it's worked for promoting her own books.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm just saying hello, everybody, and I'll be lurking in the background and waiting for questions should arise. And if you want to hear a little bit background stories about the invention of Book2Look, I'm happy to tell you the story behind it.
Okay, should I kick off then with how I discovered it and what I've been doing with it, Beth? Would that be the best way? I think it probably would.
That sounds great.
Okay, well, I first heard about Book2Look when I was at something called Bite the Book, which is a social networking group here in London for authors. And Nielsen were doing a presentation on it. And what struck me about it was that, as Beth has already said, the Book2Look, it's a widget with flip pages. And so, so to that extent, you might say, well, it's a little bit like Look Inside. And I think we'll have some visuals of this in a moment to describe. But what struck me about it is that not only can you put into it however long or short an excerpt of your book you want to, but you can also embed within it not just shopping cart links and links to reviews, but for me what was really exciting is that you can embed links to videos and to audio clips, which all become part of the package. And now as a children's author, it struck me that children like sort of appy, children that I write for who are under 12 mostly read in print, so they're not going to be sharing ebooks with each other. But I did think, well, this is like a sort of little app, really. It's an interactive app. They can open it up. They can use the flip page technology to read the excerpts, but then they can also say, oh, go and let's see what the video, what interactivity is there in here. So in my case, they can go in and they can look at videos I've made that are related to the books, or they can look at, or they can even click into an audio sample. And for me, that I thought, well, perhaps, you know, if children had something like that, they would become enthused about the book, share it with their friends. It's very easy to click the share button. And again, we'll see this in a moment. And also, you know, all the anecdotal and data evidence shows that most children, parents, when they buy books for their children, most of the time it's the children nagging the parent, you know, I like this book. So in my view, if you could get kids sharing with each other, this widget, as it were, that's what I thought was very attractive. But I think maybe, I don't know, Ralph, are you able to show one of my children's books?
Of course. Which one do you want to use?
I beg your pardon, I would say Henry Haynes and the Great Escape, because that has got both video and audio, and it's got illustrations in it, and so that will show you what you can do. And obviously, if you're not a children's author, you can still do the same thing. And I'll tell you a little bit about, you know, ideas I've had for that, whether you're a children's author or a grown-up author.
Okay, so, here it comes. You're seeing it now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's just gone. Hang on, there it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Just tell me what you want me to do.
Okay.
Karen.
So it seems to be flipping between the screen and the biblet.
Okay. We're back on the screen now. So we need to somehow stay on the screenshot, don't we, Ralph?
Yes. That's strange. There you go.
There it is.
Oh, and it's clicked back again.
Super strange. Let me try it again.
That's an example of a book wall. So that is a screenshot. Who's showing there? Let's try again.
Wait. Why is it? I don't know why it's going off all the time.
It's working. I think when each of us speak, it switches to us, but when it's on the screen.
Okay. I see why that's happening, because it's this screen now is me, and I have to. I have to keep hold of it, and I have to talk about it. And so what you're seeing here, Karen, you just correct me if I'm wrong. You just go right into it. What you're seeing here is the front page of the biblet. We call those widgets, we call biblets, because they're little book applets or apps. And what you see on this side is what we call the logo page, and it has the logo of Karen's publishing house, and it has which is also a link to the website, and it has the 4 social media links that Karen decided to use. So it's not our links, it's Karen's links, and it gives you here all the functionality of the how do you call it, the navigation bar. And Karen, you were talking about audio and video, and this is where it's hidden, or it's not actually hidden. It's the media button. If there's only a video, this would be a video button. If it's only an audio, it's an audio button. But since it's both, it's a media button. So you click on it, and it tells you there's an audio here, there's a video. So which one do you want?
What I would start with, could we show the flip page first, and then we'll look.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Of course. There you go. So this is how you flip the pages. Can go either here or there. Okay. And on a mobile device, you should be able to swipe the pages. It didn't work on Karen's phone yesterday. I don't know why, but you should be able to do it. So that's the page flipping, and it gives you the exact view of the page as you have it in your PDF. That's what you're uploading to Book2Look. It's a PDF or an EPUB, but we are looking now at the PDF view of this book that has all the proper illustrations in place, the right font type and everything. So that's probably what if you have spent a lot of time editing your book and layouting it and designing it, that's what you want to have as your primary view. But you can also switch to an EPUB view, which we come to later, I think.
Okay, so now we can.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I just wanted to mention one thing, which is when you're uploading your files for these page flip samples, you can upload a percentage of the book so that you're featuring the first 30%, let's say, giving readers and browsers enough so that they have a sense that they want to purchase this book. The other option is you can give specific page selections. So this is one of those things that might be different from Karen's example. If you are an adult book author, or especially if you're a nonfiction book author, where you have specific chapters or specific pieces of information that you want to feature in this sample, you can select, pages 7 to 9 and 27 to 30, so that you're showcasing exactly the portions of the book. It's highly customizable, and you are able to do it on your own so that you can access through username and password once you have access to the system, and log in anytime, 24/7, to edit or update and make sure that you're putting forth the best example and presentation of the book for your sales purposes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we could look at the share. Now if we go to the menu, Brian, we could, Ralph, we could show how the video and audio work. Yeah.
Before I do that, a lot of people ask me, why is the menu button in the lower left corner? That's on a desktop, that's very unusual, but this is very handy when you look at it on a smartphone. Then your left thumb can easily reach the menu button here. So this is where the menu is hidden when you have when it's sort of collapsed. This takes you to the media. And now, Karen, you tell me what you want to look at first.
Video. I would look at video. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. And it's in a little pop-up. It's a frame, and it's a video that has been uploaded to YouTube, and that's how it gets into Book2Look.
Yeah, and what I would say is it is very easy to do all of this, once you're in the back end. So in that sense, yeah,
Do you hear the music as well? You people know you don't hear the music.
It's low,
right?
but I hear it. I don't hear it loud, but I hear it.
Yeah, the music, it plays fully, so that, in that sense, it's good. And Brian, are there any plans to enable you to upload your own proprietary video, or does it always have to link to a YouTube video?
It will have to link to doesn't have to be YouTube, but it will have to link to a streaming service, because we cannot afford to run a video streaming server that runs as satisfactory as Vimeo or YouTube or any other. But if you have your preferred streaming service that's not yet part of Book2Look, we're happy to hear about it. And then if they have the technical means, which is called an API, technical means to be implemented, then we implement it for. That's very easy. But we will never, for the near future, that's for sure, we will not offer video uploads in that sense.
Okay, all right, great. And then the audio again, I'm trying to remember how I did my audio. Perhaps you could.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's chapter 1.
There we go.
And read by an American narrator, Timothy Strong.
Yeah, I wanted to warn people there. And so there, I think I can you remind me, and I'm sorry, I don't remember now, but that was my own excerpt. I must have just uploaded an MP3 file. I think that must have been it, wasn't it?
And it's an MP3 file, yes, and that you can upload, and that you don't have to go to a streaming service, because the audios we can handle, because they're smaller files, basically.
Right. And so so basically that's all very easy to do. So whether you're grown up, adult or children's author, you can do your own reading from your excerpt. You can put it in there. And in terms of videos that you put in, I mean, for one of my other books, that was obviously a trailer you saw, but for my book, The Secret Lake, I've got, it was partly inspired by a local area around here called Isabella Plantation, and I have footage that I shot in Isabella Plantation inside The Secret Lake. Now, The Secret Lake is not an illustrated book, and so I'm just thinking now with adult books, there we go, with adult books, you can you can therefore perhaps the inspiration for your story, you might want to have a video about that, about how I came to write the book, or here's a place that the scene was based on. So there is lots of, I'm very excited by, for both children's and adult authors, all the different things that you can put in there and be very creative in that sense.
And for adult books, another way to use the video can be as simple, because of course authors are on a vast range of budgets. So, and the idea is for this to be very cost effective as well as easy to use. And I've seen authors where they simply set up, a nice area in their home, and they have someone with a phone take a video interview. They prepare a few questions in advance, like Karen was just saying, maybe what inspired them to write the book. Typically, trailers do best when they're not very long, so you don't have to worry about filling a whole bunch of time. You can just have a few questions about what inspired the book, why, what it means, what you feel it will do for readers, whether it's entertainment or education or whatever the case may be, depending on your genre, adult or children's. And that's another option for video, so it enhances the media that's included in the presentation.
Exactly, and in fact, all of mine have been exactly that. They've been home done. That I've done them on GarageBand here at home.
Right.
Made trailers myself. Haven't paid anyone to do it. So it's
Right.
it's all. And in fact, my walk around Isabella was exactly that. It was with my phone, and then I sort of played around with it here. So no, I think it's it's fantastic in that sense. And coming back to what we were talking about the marketing challenge for all of us is to stand out a little bit. And I have to say that these widgets, they are part of a marketing mix, and they look a bit different. So in that sense, you're potentially going to draw more people to it. To them. What I did in the lead up to Christmas, as part of this case study as well, was they have something called a book wall, which, in fact, Brian, now I think about it, can we show, have you got a screenshot that shows what an individual biblet looks like, so people can see what it is a user will see in terms of if they saw it on a Facebook page or in a tweet or something?
You mean...
Yeah.
You mean this one? This is how you the one. Yeah, okay. You're sharing it. Let me.
That was what they looked like in a Twitter feed. So that, and again, obviously, I'm children's books, but you could do a tweet. And what I did there was I took a screenshot of the. I added it as a photo, I think, and then used hashtags and what have you for my tweets. But they render slightly differently in emails and in Facebook pages, don't they? They look smaller, more like thumbnails. So they stand out as different.
Absolutely. And when you have a color, anytime you have a visual image, it goes so much farther than simply a text headline or a text URL that people have to click to get to. When you can feature it in your feed as a promotion, it immediately stands out among others. Another thing that I thought authors may like to know about is that Book2Look pulls reviews from many different sources. So if you have reviews that have been featured through professional services like Kirkus or Publishers Weekly or Forward Clarion, Blue Ink, some of the other companies that are out there, and even bloggers, many bloggers who do reviews and mention books, a lot of those reviews can be featured through the system, and it becomes a part of your biblet. So that authors, even moms, moms may go to check out a book when their child asks for it. And if you've won an award, like a Mom's Choice Award, or if the reviews have been excellent from parents who went in and said, my child has really enjoyed reading this, that's all credibility. Reviews go a long way toward adding to the credibility of the title.
So
yes, there we go. Yeah. Yeah.
So by speaking, I make this screen available to all of you, right? So
keep talking, Ralph.
I need to keep talking then, so you can all see this. This is this would be in Karen's book the review pop-up that you are reaching when you click this little guy here. It says reviews, so it's easy to find. And these are featured reviews that Karen has put on top of the list. These are the ones she likes the most, and wants to be on top of the list. And these guys here are Google results that we find with a special type of Google search in the background. That can be, I mean, an unlimited number of review links, and we're maintaining a wide list of websites that are appropriate and that have usually very good reviews, so that we don't get all the white noise of websites that are not really reviews and that you wouldn't want to see. So that's an ongoing process. We keep adding to it. We keep adding bloggers to it. We will be adding about 40,000 US book bloggers over the next 6 months, and so that's one service feature of Book2Look.
Okay. Okay. And can we show? Is there a way to show what a biblet looks like, Ralph?
Well, I don't know what you mean, because this is what a biblet looks like.
What I mean is when you share it on the little thumbnail,
yeah.
if you know what I mean. So what does the
okay.
thumbnail image look like? I don't think we've actually seen that yet, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, let's share it then. So we can do it live right here. I share it on my Facebook page.
If you have a personal one, it'll come out hopefully like a.
Yeah, and it says, you know, I'm posting the Secret Lake by Karen Inglis, and I said, this is a wonderful book. Oops, I should be able to write. You guys should have a look at it. Okay, here we go. And then I post it on Facebook. It's now done. Let's go to Facebook and see what happened. Let's type Facebook in the right way and then go there. It's the.
There it is.
I have to apologize. It's of course a German. Well, and wouldn't you know it? There's beer. That's the first thing you see.
Children's books and cocktails. Right. There it is.
There it is. This is what I just did on my personal little page. This is how people would share on Facebook, and it's basically the same on Pinterest or Twitter. It'll show whatever the website, the network allows us to show. Sometimes it's just a square cutout of the cover. Sometimes it's this little look inside icon that we have. It gives you the blurb of the book, and this of course then is the link to the biblet itself, and there we are.
And just from you know, from the perspective of catching people's eyes with your book, you know, in that whole noise of everybody else marketing their books, it does look a bit different in a feed. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but because that format that we're seeing, the little thumbnail, that works on personal Facebook feeds, which we as authors cannot. We cannot post our own books into our own personal feeds. But the idea of this, as we know, is to try and get people sharing, readers sharing with other readers. So ultimately, once that gets onto a personal feed and is shared from there, that's how it will look. If you actually post it on your own Facebook page, it gives a slightly wider image, a bit like you saw in the Twitter examples. But you know, there are workarounds. You could take a screenshot of that, and you could then post that as a photo on your author Facebook page and have a little link above it. So there are ways around it. And likewise, I should just mention for any authors, children or adult who use the free WordPress sites, which I do still, they don't allow widgets to be embedded. But again, you can get round it by taking a screenshot of the widget and then embedding the link behind it. So, you know, yeah. But that it definitely stands out from the crowd, you know, as another way of marketing your book amongst many.
Absolutely.
And you can, as you can see here, you have, you know, a single click, or actually it's 2 clicks. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn, Xing, which is obviously not interesting for children's books. And you can make a book recommendation via email. And this, on Karen's recommendation, this little guy here, this option will move up 1 level. So when you click on share, this is a separate option from the social media links. And yeah.
This is actually one of my favorite features. Can you show it, Ralph? So what happens is when someone reads a book and decides that they like it, as they reach the point of the biblet, you can either scroll, you know, flip through the page samples to the end, or you can open the icons on the lower left menu that was shown earlier. When you click on share and this box comes up that Ralph is showing now, You can select a friend. Let's say I see a biblet about a book on tax preparation, and I know that there's a friend of mine who's been, having a hard time with that it's something that would be useful and of interest to them. I can select this, email the biblet to my friend, write a little personal note to that person, and it'll show you in a moment how it comes up. The graphics are just a fun, easy thing for viewers, as well as, aside from it being a good tool for authors and publishers, it's a fun thing for the viewers and the readers. It makes it more accessible for them. So when you forward it, it will show as though it's a personal Post-it note, a handwritten Post-it note in the digital presentation. Just another, little graphic feature. That makes it fun to look at.
Let me show it to you just really quickly. This is the recommendation, the email recommendation feature. I have my email address as the sender, and I have your email address, Beth, but I'm using my other email here. And I've written this little note saying, "Hi Ralph, this is what I found in the bookstore yesterday." I submitted. It's being sent as a recommendation. If I go to my Outlook, it's coming.
That's it, in real time. It shows up.
That's it. It shows this little icon here, and then if I click on it and open the biblet, what I'm getting is this version that has my little note here as a post-it on the cover. That's just one little way.
That's one of my favorite things.
It's the little thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I just think anyway, here's the thing, in my experience, I am not an author yet. I'm hoping to publish my own book next summer. It's in progress, as many of us are very familiar with that term. But I work with authors all day, every day. I've had this company, Author Connections, for 7 years. And one of the most difficult things is taking advantage of technology to reach the largest numbers of possible readers while still making it feel like a personal engagement. Digital can feel very impersonal. And so what I find to be very helpful and useful about this, and what's really innovative, is that the graphics make it feel like a personal engagement with each viewer. And yet you have access to, sharing it in very wide circles of potential readers.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we haven't spoken about, there's also an option where you can send a clip. Now, this I think is probably, from what I understand, certainly from Nielsen, is being used with academic books a lot, and perhaps with non-fiction. If you're reading a book within the widget, you can actually pick a clip and say, I'm going to send, you can do something called Clip It. Now, Ralph, I think I've discussed with you the customer journey there. I found a little bit confusing, and I think, you've got various iterations going on. But the principle that is that in that case, rather than sending that little book biblet, you send an actual excerpt that you like the look of, and then a link below it, or ultimately will be a link below it.
Maybe I should just briefly show it so the people can understand what this is. And I had to agree with Karen yesterday that the user journey is not really optimal. So we are in the process of changing it. But bear with me and have a look at what we have right now, and it'll be a little bit slicker in the near future. So it's also a way to share a book, obviously, and it's called Post a Clip. And when you do that, it just goes directly to the, it's already changed. That part has already changed. It goes directly to the clipping. And let's say I really like this illustration, and that's what I want to share with my friends. And that's what I want to do. I clip it. And then that's I can copy this clip has its own little URL. I can copy it. I can share it on Facebook, Twitter again. And so my friends will get a mail, or they will find on a post on Facebook or a tweet that has a link that brings them directly to this page and this clip. Let's do it on Facebook again.
And in terms of usage of this particular feature, each author, of course, your target audience and who your book is intended for. I love this feature, especially for young adult, for YA fiction, because your teenage readers who are so very active on social media, very often they do exactly that. They want to post a quote, or there's a passage, or there's something that speaks to them and resonates with them, and they want to put that out to a friend. That post a clip is where they can just, in 5 seconds, select it. Here it is on the screen, Ralph's showing us. And within real time, you've been able to share that, just that portion, with whomever you want to share it with.
So I just did it. I just shared the clip on Facebook. And so what appears on Facebook is this post. It shows the clip, and I'm saying sorry to all my real Facebook friends. They'll be wondering what's going on here.
Where did the beer go? Right.
Just sorry. I do like the book. Don't worry. But so and that again, of course, is a link to the biblet itself, and it opens the book and it shows me the clip and things that other people have clipped. This may change, but then I'll click on the page and I see the page, I recognize the clip, and I can see the context of the clip. This is used in text-based books mostly to show your favorite quote, this the favorite beginning of a mystery novel or whatever. But it's also very nice when you have a nicely illustrated book and you want to show that special illustration that you like a lot and things like that.
I could imagine children using this if there's some fun illustrations, black and white illustrations that they want to share with friends, which was why actually I was talking about the customer journey, which I know you're tweaking a little bit now. So yeah, it's a great feature. So all round, I would just say lots of good uses. And one other thing I'll say, because I know we're probably running short of time, is that as Christmas came around, I was able to use Canva, which CANVA, very good for creating sort of for personalizing my book wall and things like that. So I put Christmas decorations all around it and then posted that on Facebook and on my Twitter feed and things like that. So, that was another.
And those seasonal themes. Yeah, absolutely. That looks great.
So I've just, Karen, you wanted me to show this this book wall that you created. Is that what you're saying?
That's the last thing that we haven't talked about within this, which is there is something called a book wall. So all your books, you can create them into book walls, and from memory, you can package as many or as few into one book wall as you want. You can do different variations on it, I think, and they come up just as that white central bit there. But that was me then taking a screenshot of that, going to Canva, and then laying over this sort of Christmas festivity thing, and then using that in, again, and embedding the link to the book wall behind the image, so you can use that on Facebook or wherever. So
I love that idea. I actually haven't seen that used before, and when I think of in the marketing plans that I design, I always recommend seasonal promotions. So this is something as simple as you can have this winter holiday background, but in February you can have a red background with hearts, and then in springtime you can have a bright green with tulips.
Or the theme of your book is, if someone's
exactly
on
genre specific. So we are kind of getting low on time. I would just like to ask if there's anything either of you feel you want to add, and then I can kind of give a summary to everyone who's listening.
Okay. No, I think there's a few little things in the customer journey I'd spoken to Ralph about. What I will do is say, for people in the UK who are listening, in terms of the cost of these, you go to the Book2Look website, but just to give you an idea, at the moment in the UK, you can have between 1 and 4 for £75 each. This is for life. There's no subscription. Once you've got it, you've got it. Between 5 and 10 for £30 each, or between 11 and 30 for £25 each. And Nielsen tell me that most authors go for 5 for 150. So that's like £30 each. And then you've got those for life, and you can use them in any way you wish. So, and and by the way, there is a whole, which we won't go into now, obviously, but there's a whole load of data reporting in the background where you can actually see how many times people have clicked them or shared them. But I don't think we've got time to cover that now.
That's one of the things I was going to say in the summary is we're presenting just a few of the key features, but there are many, many other bells and whistles that are attached to this. that are worth going just to book2look.com and checking out the different ways that you can view it and different features. The reporting is a huge aspect of this. And if anyone wants more information, like Karen said, you can go to book2look.com, and in the UK, it's Nielsen that's offering it. Or in the United States, if you want more information, you can send me a direct email. It's b2l@authorconnections.com. And we're also selling packages. So there's a special discount with Ally. Anyone who was on this program today, you can mention it. And we're very happy to be introducing this package offer so that we can make it available to as many authors as possible.
Can I ask one last question, which I think might be of interest to a lot of authors who, who are on tight budgets? Is there a way to access it as a collaboration? So a lot of authors are now collaborating together to try and sell more books, mixed box sets. And I don't know, perhaps Beth, you know the answer to this. Is there a way that you could come at it and say, right, we're a collective of authors, and so therefore we want to get together to buy a group between us? I'm not.
Well, the package in the States is 5 biblets at a time. So if a group of authors wants to pitch in and buy that package and get 5 biblets, and each author takes one, or however they choose to split those up, that's absolutely fine. Okay. And we're selling through a number of partners. And people can contact me directly to get the discount. That's with Ally today. And that b2l@authorconnections.com. And we'll make sure that we take care of getting you access to the system so that you're using it in the best way possible.
Right.
Okay. And I wish we had a Q&A here, because I feel like authors may have questions. So one of the things I want to mention is we're available for backup to answer any questions that you may have, to provide support if that's what's needed. There's a lot of materials in terms of giving you a checklist of what you should have ready and prepared before you're going to create a biblet. The idea of this is to make it simple and easy to use so that authors can take advantage of encapsulating all of these materials around your book to feature it to as many readers as possible.
Yeah. Okay. And then anyone based in the UK, if you've got any questions, leave a comment on the Google on the presentation today. My contact details will be there as well, so I can answer any more questions.
Great. Thank you to both of you. Thanks, Ralph, for giving us the technical specifics. And thank you again to Ally for organizing these indie author fringe programs. There's so much information that authors as publishers need to absorb, and Ally has become a terrific filter for supporting those businesses.
Okay. Right. Well, thanks very much,
everyone.
Yeah. Thanks. Beth, you need to get the phone.
Yes, I'm not looking.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thanks, Ralph. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.